You can cue off some of their behaviors, as you mentioned earlier. How do you do that with a child, say, that maybe not necessarily, well, maybe nonverbal because they're too young to speak, or maybe just don't have that complexity of speech yet to be able to describe complex feelings and emotions? How do you do that?
Right. So for infants and younger children, especially that are nonverbal, we really have to go off of their signs and symptoms and go off of what the parent awareness is. And so for us, it's, how are they eating? How are they drinking if they're just on bottles or feeds? And then how are their bowel movements and urinary movements? How are they using the restroom? Sometimes kids can be constipated, or because of their appetite decreasing and things like that, that can really affect them. The other thing is, besides their feeding habits, is how are they sleeping, right? So are they waking up multiple times in the night, having nightmares about the incident? Are they waking up early because they're not able to, go back to sleep or soothe themselves to go back to sleep? Are they just having difficulty going to sleep because when they close their eyes, they're reminded of the event? There's multiple different ways and things that can happen. And that's really important to educate the parents about this. Sometimes the younger kids, they're just inconsolable. You can't really get them to calm down. And that might be them having a mild traumatic brain injury. They're much more fussy. And sometimes, people can argue that it's part of their normal development. They're going to be fussy. They're going to have ups and downs. But sometimes mothers can really tell that, hey, my child did not have these inconsolable cries in the middle of the night. They were able to self-soothe, and now they just have an increased startle reflex, and it's just really hard to get them to go to bed. So there's different things that are happening, and the earlier that they're able to be seen, the earlier that they can have, treatment, then the better, effects they can have, and they won't have long-term effects.
Early diagnosis, early treatment, definitely key. Do you ever see those things coming on later, though? So, the child was injured today or earlier today. I bring them in, you assess, you see what you see. But, I take my child home. Do I need to be watchful over the next days, weeks even?
Absolutely.